Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today this is going to be my 3-minute review of a movie. I just watched Joyride featuring Ashley Park, Stephanie Hughes, Sabrina Wu, and Shara Cole, I believe. Apologies if I mispronounced it. And it's just pretty much about, it gave me very similar vibes to like Crazy Rich Asians, but mix of Bridesmaid. It's just a strong four lead female cast lead is all Asian, and the story is pretty much, quick background is a girl goes to China and tries to find her past and everything, her birth mom. She's adopted, and pretty much it's the aspect of her trying to find her birth mom. Don't want to go too much into it, but it's pretty much a good story. It touches on that aspect of, you know, Asians being adopted, growing up in a very being the only two Asians in a white community, pretty much. It really touched on the aspect of, I felt like very similar of growing up in the 90s. The reason being is a lot of the community I grew up in was, there was not that many Asians, and the aspect of the story continued going when it got into, you know, China, not to spoil more, but then going into other aspects of people identifying all Asians as the same. But then there's the breakdown of understanding, just because, you know, there's one Asian group, for example, it doesn't define all of us, and each of us being in the Asian ethnicity, is it breaks it into the Asian race, in that idea that there's different ethnicities of Asian across. And that movie really touched on there, and not being, you know, sometimes identified. That's what I really enjoyed about the movie, is Ashley Park's character was never enough to be American or white, but she was never enough to be Asian. And I think a lot of people growing up in that community of being Asian, but in a very white majority neighborhood or community, you always felt like that. You had your Asian friends, you had, you know, your white friends or like school friends. So it was always that balancing, and then going home to your country. And I felt that too when I finally visited the Philippines for the very first time, as I knew I was American, and I felt American. Just because I grew up in the cultures, my parents, you know, touched on it very heavily. I grew up eating Filipino food. It indicates in the movie that very heavily. It's just because you know, experienced that, it didn't really carry over there. Don't get me wrong, the laughs were great, so many good jokes, a lot of gags, but that feeling of her trying to identify and be part of that movie, like find her true identity and understand where she was born, like, you know, born, and retouching on that culture, I think was such an amazing blend with all that gags and stuff. I would definitely support it, and especially if you being just being a whole Asian cast movie or majority. And you know, the last one was Crazy Rich Asians. There's been a couple throughout, and ever since that amazing touch on there, Asian movies are just popping left and right, and I'm enjoying them great. And just the cast being able to just show and really define like the acting roles that Asians can do. So definitely I would go and support it. I think it's something worth doing. But as always, take care and God bless. It's Joyride 2020. Don't get it mixed with other ones. Joyride with Ashley Park as one of the leads. All four of them are amazing. Take care. And I think the casting was great. The casting was real great. Take care and God bless. I know this went over 3 minutes.